First off, good to see you again, my
good
brother.
To see you, man.
People know you as a high-level point guard in the NBA. You've been an all-star in this league. Tell the people your background in combat sports.
Well, my first sport was actually wrestling. A lot of people don't know that. Mom threw me in it, asked me one day if I wanted to wrestle. I was like, sure. You know, I'm 4 years old, don't know any better. And proceeded to cry every time I went on the mat. She was like, I already paid for this, and so you gonna finish. And so every weekend, she'd bring me out to the tournaments. I'd go out there, usually get pinned in a couple seconds, cry, coming off the mat. She'd walk me back out there again the next week. And I don't know what it was. That next summer, she asked me if I wanted to do it again, and I said yes. She was for sure I was gonna say no. And started out that second season kind of the same way, same thing, but then all of a sudden, I guess something clicked. I got sick of getting my ass whooped. And so I wrestled for about 8 years. Actually won state twice as a 8-year-old and a 12-year-old. I had to stop in high school because it's the same season as basketball, but you know, I definitely loved it. It definitely was a big part of my childhood, and you know, something I'm proud of.
When you played, did you train in either wrestling or MMA or boxing, and you know, how did that come about?
I've always been a boxing fan since I was little. My brother's dad, he was a big boxing fan, Golden Glove boxer in the Army, so we were always watching fights, always a fan of it. Growing up when I was younger, I wanted to be Jean-Claude Van Damme. You know, I watched his movies and tried to emulate everything he was doing. Did a little bit of karate, but you know, never really took it serious. And then when I got to the NBA, the UFC started becoming big, and I started really getting behind that, loving it, watching it, and then was able to meet some guys when I was in Utah, Josh Berkman, Steven Seiler, and guys that were in the UFC, and started training with them a little bit here and there in jiu-jitsu, you know, doing some striking. And then when I got to Dallas is when I really, I met Safe, the head coach here, and that's when I really started, you know, taking it a little more serious.
My name is Saif Saud. I'm the head coach of Fortis MMA, and I'm the head trainer for Deron Williams for this fight. I started training Darren when he played for the Mavs, probably 2014, 2015, around that time. And I was working on this project. One day we got done working out, and I said, here, I got to show you something. And I brought him over here, and he came in and said, man, I got to be a part of this. So that's just kind of how our partnership started, and we've been going ever since. You know, there's really nothing to break down on Frank because he's never fought. But, you know, you look at the character of the guy, such a hard-working guy. We'll go real slow. Get in my pocket. Yeah, that's good. Ooh.
2, 3.
Let's just go 2 first.
Okay.
That's fine. Nice. Yep. You know, I think 16 years or whatever it is in the league as a running back. A real humble guy, and you know, a guy that really works hard. He's busting his ass. There's just no doubt about it. You just know that with him. So we're prepared for a guy that's going to come in hungry and a guy that's put in the work, and we know he's going to be tenacious, and we know he's going to be prepared. We don't really know what his style is because this is his first fight, but I'm sure he's going to be ready to go.
You've been a wrestler. You've trained MMA. How did boxing come about?
Well, I mean, as you know, boxing is a big part of MMA, and so I've been doing stand-up and boxing training for a while now. I don't think boxing was ever in my mind because it wasn't, you know, the celebrity boxing thing wasn't really prevalent until the last, you know, year or two. And I think seeing Nate, you know, go out there, you know, seeing Ocho Cinco get out there, look like those guys have fun, you know, they have fun with the process. So
tell me, how did this fight with you and Frank Gore come about?
Honestly, it came out of nowhere for me. One of the promoters from this promoting the fight, and I think works with Jake, called me and was like, you know, Frank's looking for an opponent. He's been training, you know, gave me a little bit of his backstory, and I was like, shoot, I'll do it.
You think after this fight, was this something you want to do again? Say you were successful, you get the win. Would you want to get out there again?
I don't know, you know, being honest.
What if one of the Pauls like, hey, I want to fight you, D. Well, you put the hands on Frank Gore, and then one of the Pauls say, I mean, hey, let's match up.
I'll definitely think about it, you know, but it's a lot, man. This ain't no joke.
All right, tell us now, you play team sport. This is just you now. But tell us the big difference, like mentally, you know, going into like, you have a bad day on the basketball court, you got your teammates to rely on. You know, you get into combat sports, it's all about you. Tell us the mindset and the difference between the two.
I mean, it's a big difference, like you said. I mean, I'm having a bad night and I'm not shooting well, I can pass to Paul Pierce. he's gonna go get me 25. You know, I don't have that luxury. You know, if I come out there and I can't figure it out, I can't get going, there's nobody I can look to. There's nobody I can say, hey, go fight for me. I can't do that, you know. And so it's a big difference, you know. And same thing with the training, you know. It's me and my sparring partner in there, and there's nothing that can save me.
Like, what's the difference between this and basketball? How is it the transition there?
Well, you know, one's a team sport. You know, one's individual. One, you're going out there to get punched in the face. The other one, you're trying to put a ball in the basket. So there's, you know, some differences, but some similarities.
What do fans think?
What do the fans think?
Yeah, about you.
I don't know.
Do you communicate with them through social or anything like that? Or?
I've been kind of quiet since finding out about this.
Anything to say to people that's calling this just a sideshow? What do you got to say to these people?
I mean, people hate. That's just the nature of the world we live in. That's all people love to hate, you know, and so they can think what they want. They also don't have to tune in, but I guarantee you they probably will, you know. There's a lot of unknowns in this boxing match, you know. It's two guys who, you know, we've been training, but it also is our first fight.
I've always said Darren can fight. I mean, you know, since the first time I've ever seen him throw a punch, he looks like a fighter.
Yep.
And that just speaks to how athletic he is. He's good at so many different things. And fighting is not something that comes unnatural to Darren. It's actually quite the opposite. It comes very natural to him. He's going to be ready, and I'm sure Frank's going to be ready too.
You know, I've had a lot of people ask me why, you know, and my reason is why not, you know. Yeah, it's scary. Yeah, it's you know, am I going to be nervous? Probably. But also, it's something that I feel like I want to do. And I feel like if I didn't do it, I'd be disappointed in myself for turning it down. And so, you know, if it's something you want to do, if you want to get in there, you know, I encourage you.
Yeah, smart. Really all I want, and I think both camps, we just want a good show and show how hard these two athletes work, show how capable they are at doing this. You know, everybody's like, you know, I want to see him box. Like, we don't stick to basketball. Hey man, these guys are retired. You know, this is a bucket list thing. They're just trying to check it off, and I think that's cool. And I think we should always praise people who want to challenge themselves and work hard. And you know, it takes some real courage to go out in front of the whole world and put a pair of gloves on. And I think Frank and Darren are doing that and showing the world that. And I think it's exciting. So I just hope both athletes come out and show out and look good.
The sports world think that NBA players are soft anyways.
Yeah.
Well, you got to represent us.
Well, I mean,
better
like you said, I have a little bit more experience, a little more training. You know, I know Frank has been training for years. I know that he's tough. I mean, there's no doubt that he's a tough dude. You know, he's got the, you know, most snaps in NFL history of any running back. So that's not an easy task to do. So,
No.
But when you go out there, you're potentially, you know,
Putting your life on the line.
Putting your life on the line, you can wake up and what happened, you know? That's just part of it, you know? But, you know, I'm doing the work in here to ensure that won't happen.
I'm looking at the matchup, and on paper, you got the height, you got the reach. How do you see this going? What's the game plan?
Well, you know, I ain't gonna give too much info. But yeah, obviously, I have a reach advantage. I know I'll have a reach advantage going in there, and, you know, I'm gonna try to use that, you know, to my advantage for sure. You know, I definitely have a game plan. I'm sure he has a game plan, and I'm ready for anything.
You know what Mike Tyson always say, everybody got a game plan until they get hit.
Until they get hit in the face, yeah.
Well, good luck.
Appreciate it.
It's a great team. I look forward to it.
Appreciate it.